Jerry Perez and former Governor Gutierrez on plenty of times talking about their plans, and there are plans that they have. They've talked about this bubble where tourists would come in and they'd go to a certain hotel, and then certain businesses would be kind of like designated COVID free. But again, this was a couple months ago, and things have kind of changed given the declaration of PCOR 2. So maybe it's time we get GVB back on again.
Yeah.
9:24. Let's head back into the Zoom where we have from the Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. He is the director, Mr. Jermaine Alerta. Jermaine, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Good morning, Chris. How are you guys doing?
We're doing
Jason,
pretty good. Yeah.
That's a great mask, by the way.
Oh, I got it from my when the barbers opened. I have this barber. I'm not gonna disclose where they are, but they also know someone that sells masks, so I bought a couple, and I have a big face, so it fits my face pretty well. So that's why I'm wearing it.
Nice, looks good. Jermaine,
It has elephants on it.
So it's a Republican mask.
Not gonna go that far.
Probably not a good thing.
Yeah, Jermaine sent us a little video, guys. We're gonna pop this up here. Yeah, just a little video, and I don't want to spoiler alert. It's kind of explains what developmental disabilities councils do. Okay, so this is the link, and again, this video courtesy of Jermaine Alerta over at the GDDC. I actually don't have it, guys. So go ahead.
No.
We got it on Facebook Live. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. DD councils were established in the early 1970s by the Federal Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act to advocate for change in service systems for people with developmental disabilities. There's a council in every U.S. state and territory. The Guam DD Council has 28 members from across the island, appointed by the governor. Our members include people with developmental disabilities, family members of children and adults with developmental disabilities, and representatives of various government agencies and community organizations. The Council works to identify pressing needs in areas such as education, employment, and transportation, and develops a 5-year state plan to address some of the needs through advocacy, capacity building, and systems change activities. Some of those activities are carried out by our council members and staff, while others are through collaboration with our disability network partners. Throughout the year, our council participates in various events, including meetings, outreach fairs, trainings, conferences, forums, and community projects. Much of what we do involves educating the public about developmental disabilities and supporting and empowering individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to advocate for change in public policy so individuals with developmental disabilities can have self-determination, independence, productivity, and be fully included in the community. Advocate for change in service systems for people with developmental disabilities. There's a council in every U.S. state and territory. The Guam DD Council has 28 members from across the island, appointed by the governor. Our members include people with developmental disabilities, family members of children and adults with developmental disabilities, and representatives of various government agencies and community organizations. The Council works to identify pressing needs in areas such as education, employment, and transportation, and develops a 5-year state plan to address some of the needs through advocacy, capacity building, and systems change activities. Some of those activities are carried out by our council members and staff, while others are through collaboration with our disability network partners. Throughout the year, our council participates in various events, including meetings, outreach fairs, trainings, conferences, forums, and community projects. Much of what we do involves educating the public about developmental disabilities and supporting and empowering individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to advocate for change in public policy so individuals with developmental disabilities can have self-determination, independence, productivity, and be fully included in the community.
All right, that was cute. Let's just jump into it. You talked about some of the challenges facing people born with developmental disabilities, from education to employment. So if you want to just go down the line and maybe give us your take on what are at least a few of those challenges in each of the categories.
Well, so the Developmental Disabilities Council is unique because it really our members, 60% of our membership is made up of people with developmental disabilities or their family members, right? So we really draw on their firsthand experiences about some of the challenges, some of the obstacles they face in their lives. And like you said, so we have a state plan that we develop every 5 years, and we ask the community for their input on identifying some of the issues that our federal mandates guide us to focus on, right? Education, employment, transportation, housing, healthcare, issues like that. And some of the problems have been long-standing. When I first got on board with the DD Council, a lot of the members spoke about in terms of like you usually brought up education and employment. They have difficulty with the availability of jobs for individuals with disabilities, right? So they go through programs with DISID. They work with the Department of Labor. The government tries to form partnerships and establish partnerships with local businesses, right, to see how they're able to accommodate more employment opportunities for people with disabilities. So obviously the availability of that is one of the primary issues that people are facing. With education, a lot of parents, they're concerned about getting a proper and a fair education for their children who are under the Division of Special Education. Right. So we have a lot of family advocates, right? A lot of parents who will are trying to ensure that their children have they're given a level playing ground in terms of succeeding in their educational journey from kinder all the way up until they exit the school system. With housing, again, it's just availability. Guam's so small, and we have limited resources, right? So a lot of the times our members are advocating to have the availability and accessibility expanded so that they can get the opportunities that they need to improve their quality of life, not just for the individual with the disability in their family, but for their entire family.
Obviously, there's just so many challenges on top of challenges, right? Like with ADA compliance, and is that kind of under you guys' area too?
So the DD Council, it has to be the DD Council is really its primary focus is advocacy. Like I said, we draw upon our members' experiences in their lives to educate people about some of the obstacles people with disabilities face, right? And then we go out and we try to educate the community. We try to bring more awareness to the community about those issues, so that when our council, together with our community partners, when we speak with local policymakers, when we speak with government agencies, when we speak with community organizations who do provide direct services, they're more understanding about some of the needs of the disability community. So with ADA compliance, we do advocate for that. We just a few months ago we partnered together with Guam Cedars and the Guam Legal Services Corporation, because we were trying to bring more awareness to ADA compliance throughout the community, right? Not just in government facilities, but all public spaces, right? All places available to the public, right? So that people understand that even though the ADA has been in existence for many, many years, there's, like you said, there's still a lot of issues with compliance because some people just aren't aware about what constitutes reasonable accommodations as prescribed within the ADA, right? So part of what we do is we work together and we try to just reach out to the community, reach out to businesses and explain to them, you don't have to spend millions of dollars to provide those accommodations, but there's little things you can do to get in, to conform, right, to meet the mandates as required in the ADA. So a lot of it is advocacy, going out there and explaining to people who may not be aware that certain laws exist that require compliance with accommodations with regards to the ADA.
You guys have a month, Jermaine?
So back in 1987, President Ronald Reagan proclaimed March as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, right? And remember, this is 1987. This is over 30 years ago, right? So the information that was available back then and what they knew back then, it was a lot less than what we know now, right?
Yeah.
But every month, especially around Guam, we do observe March as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And in the past, obviously, last year a lot of the events were canceled because it was in March, and that's when the pandemic kind of hit everybody, right? So we had a whole slew of activities planned for that month, and we had to cancel some of them. This year, obviously, it's going to be a lot different. We're going to do a lot of things virtually. But in the past, a lot of the activities surrounding Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month have been a lot of outreach activities. We held a couple of community outreach fairs at the different local shopping centers. We Guam Cedars, GSAT, the Guam System for Assistive Technology, they host a yearly conference, Assistive Technology Conference. Guam Legal Services Corporation, we partner with them. We partner with Cedars. And we just hold a bunch of different events during March with a bunch of our different partners. I know part of Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month has always been showcasing some of the talents of people with developmental disabilities. I know not last year, but in 2019, I know Guamani, we partnered with Guamani, and they did a poetry and photo exhibit with some of the people using their services. Yeah. It's just a bunch of events to showcase and highlight, right? Some of the talents, some of the, and just kind of, expose the general public to the lives that people with developmental disabilities and their families live, so that they understand that, they enjoy the same things everyone else does, right? But there's just certain barriers that it makes it a little bit more difficult for them to attain those things that they want to enjoy. But when they do it, it's just like everyone else, and that's really what we strive to highlight during Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month.
Yeah, so that's in March. No, are you guys gonna go full on, or are you still thinking virtual?
So right, so right now we are, we were still experiencing the pandemic, right? So that's the reality right now. So we're not planning to do any large face-to-face activities, if any, right now. Yeah. A lot of it's going to be virtual. We're going to work together. Like I said, GSAT's doing the virtual AT conference. We're going to be partnering with some government agencies and some nonprofits within our community to highlight some of the programs that are available. I know with transportation, I know GRTA recently has been putting out this new app for paratransit users. And, it's something that you're going to use on a mobile device or your computer. So we want to make sure that the people who need that service are fully aware of what it is and how to properly use it. So some of the things we want to do is more outreach and educational awareness for programs such as that, for projects such as that, right? So right now we're in the planning stages. We are going to have a proclamation signing. We're going to try to get a legislative resolution. We're going to work with our policymakers to do that. And it always just draws together people in the disability community because, there's so many different organizations within the community that focus on specific types of disabilities, right? We have Autism Community Together. Right. We have the Down Syndrome Association of Guam. There's so many, right? Guamani provides services, Catholic Social Service provides services. And we want to bring all those groups together so that people can put faces to stories and lived experiences, right? So they can get a better understanding of some of the challenges that we're experiencing, but also the strides we've made towards making things better, and then also fully understanding that there's still a lot more work to be done, and we still have a long way to go, but we're showing that we're getting there slowly but surely.
How many people on Guam have developmental disabilities?
So we've never taken an accurate count. And part of it is health regulations preclude a lot of government organizations from asking about disabilities. You cannot ask someone, right? So the information about disabilities within a family has to be voluntary, right? Obviously, if people are getting services for that, then you can mark them down as someone. But with like developmental disabilities, you cannot really get the information without asking the question directly. So like nationally, and this is true with all the states and territories, they don't have definitive numbers, but a lot of them use percentages that health organizations, nationally recognized health organizations tell us to use. And the prevalence is supposed to be like 1.58% or 1.5% of a population. So that's how we kind of use it as our number. But there's never been any true accurate count. But we do work with like GDOE or DISID, who provide services for individuals who have to identify that they do have a disability to get those services. So we use those numbers, but they're not 100% accurate.
Right. I want to go back to what you had talked about, communicating with parents of students with special needs. What's that conversation like? Do you get a lot of complaints from parents who have their kids with developmental disabilities in the education system? Maybe issues about one-to-one aids or instructional time. What are some of the things those parents say to you?
So we do have quite a few members on our council that are parents, and they have students currently within the education system. What's good is that the DD Council does have a seat on what's called on a DOE. Within DOE, it's called GAPS, right? It's the Guam Advisory Panel for Students with Disabilities. And the DDC does have a seat on that, and it's made up of a bunch of parents who are there advocating for their children. And the issues, like you said, personnel, resources, those are issues that are always brought up. The good thing is, I know you had Superintendent Fernandez on. We hold a monthly meeting. GAPS holds a monthly meeting where these parents are able to identify certain issues that they're experiencing and other parents like them are experiencing. And they bring it up, and the DOE administrators are there to listen, and they explain some of the challenges they as a department also face in providing those services, and it's a chance for them to be face to face with some of the parents. I don't want to say complaints, but bringing up issues and discussing issues that parent alone doesn't face, but other parents face, and also the teachers, the staff, and the administrators of the department also see those as issues that they need to find a resolution to. So it gets them speaking, right? The conversation is started. So that's a step in the right direction, is that they're bringing together both sides, and they're talking it out, and they're trying to come to a resolution that addresses some of the issues. But yeah, we do hear that from some of our parent members, and they do convey those messages to
not complaints, though. They're just conveying issues.
Well, I mean, complaints are a very confrontational word, right? That's in my opinion, right? But if you say it enough, right? If you say the issue enough, people are going to understand that it exists, right? So as when you acknowledge that the problem does exist, that the difficulties exist, then that I believe is a step in the right direction, because then now everyone begins talking about it instead of putting it on the back burner, which unfortunately has been the case many times in the past.
I follow you on a few of the different social media things, so I just wanted to congratulate you on your modeling career.
That's something you two share.
Yeah. Model to model, Jermaine, just,
I know, we're signing under the same contract, Chris. I got a little bit jealous. I said, I didn't get to wear that shirt that Chris was wearing.
Yeah, I said the same thing about you.
No,
but how's the singing going, though?
No, that was people talk to me. I'm a church singer, right, and I'm a choir singer from high school. And I'm an avid karaoker, if that's a word, right?
Karaokeer.
Karaokeer, yeah. So, but I mean, it's just something to pass the time. And when you're sitting at home at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and you have your computer on, you're going through YouTube, and things pop up, right? You just press it and be like, oh no, I can't sing that, so I can't record that. Things like that. But I mean, it's just passing the time, especially this day and age when a lot of us are finding new things to do, right? A lot of us are finding things to keep us busy. So,
right.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right, there you go.
It is what it is.
Hey, well, you know what,
Hold on, Jay.
Jermaine, you blow us all out of the water today with shirt selection and everything. That is a great shirt.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris,
So
Chris,
this is
Chris is
actually-
kind of like the Antigo wear that to church, shirt with your grandpa,
I
which is nice, and I look like a Honolulu banker.
I
Sabrina's
have-
got the tigress, rar.
have
But
a
yeah,
whole,
Jermaine, that is a
whole
fantastic shirt,
wardrobe.
man.
But Jermaine, when
Oh,
we have
thanks,
our karaoke contest here on the link, we're gonna be hitting you up to make sure you perform.
Get ready.
Let me know so I can practice. I know my voice is a little bit scratchy because there aren't.
You can
there's
do
no
Betty
karaoke
Davis
machines
eyes.
that- No,
Take it
that's
easy.
Thank
Take it
you
easy,
guys so
Jermaine.
much, though.
Thanks for joining us, my friend.
All right, thank you guys so
Okay,
much for the
I'll see you.
platform, and you guys be safe out
Yeah,
there. 'cause
anything you
everyone-
need to pump out, whatever, shoot it to me on the WhatsApp.